Hey guys, Sean Jones from Art of the Sean and TFT Paintball here. Starting again on stream, but I had a couple things I wanted to talk about real quick. A couple crazy things happened this weekend. Um, I don't know if I can get this into the shot when I get this pulled up, but we'll see if we can. Maybe? Oh yeah, we can. Okay, great. So, what's one thing that happens to you when something goes right? Right? Typically, something else goes a little bit wrong. And I am no exception to that. I've had that happen a couple of times. So this last weekend, I finished working on a car that I needed to get around, and I've been working for the last couple of months. I've been trying to deal with a number of problems with this car. And anyway, when I got home, the last moment that I turned my wrench and set everything down, and it was all buttoned up and good to go. I get home and I turn on my computer because I'm going to do some artwork. I need to get some stuff done. I know that I'm on deadlines and need to push, and that's kind of where I'm at right now. And sure as shit, Murphy's Law would apply, and I don't have what I needed to have because this faithful old beastie died. My drawing screen, which I use my pen with and draw on, no longer works. So that was cool. But fortunately, I do have a backup. It's super, super old and super, super out of date compared to a lot of the other things. But I've got some, I'll probably get a new thing coming pretty quick here. But today, I'm going to be drawing with this beast right here. Old school tablet. And this is a super old school tablet. This is the Intuos 3. At work, I use a different version of this that is much... I don't know, I don't want to say futuristic, but it's definitely more up to date. It's the Intuos Pro large pad. And you can see the drawing area on this is going to be a little different. So if you see me kind of like taking a lot back, like I normally do anyway, but like if you see me taking a little bit more back on my drawings and stuff like that, it's because I'm adjusting to a new drawing tab, well, a new old drawing tablet as a backup because my screen went tits. So that was fun. And I kind of want to get people's opinions. So anybody who has seen the guns, I would really love to hear your opinions on how those are going. You can check them out at Trade My Gun's Facebook page. Just type in Trade My Gun and it'll pop up, and you just pop the logo in, and you're gonna see a whole bunch of previews that Trade My Gun released. So that's why I'm talking about it. I don't generally release those types of things as far as like the actual mock-ups and stuff like that until the client is doing the same thing. But I'd like to know your opinions on those as well. But I'm also only operating on one screen, which means that you're going to see, like, when I transition to my paintball art screen, I'm going to have to, like, there's going to be a whole bunch of windows up and different things. And I also can't check my chats nearly as often because I can't just look over here and, like, check my chats. I have to switch screens, so that means it goes onto the feed and that type of stuff. So it's most likely that I'm not really going to check back on anything. I wish that I could, or I wish that I could get it to stick up front in front of, everything else, like a Twitch interface or something like that. But for the time being, that's not what's going on. So I am multi-streaming still, but I am only on one screen. It means that I'll probably not check the chats quite as often because nobody really wants to see me navigating a browser. They want to see the artwork, so that's what we're going with. So here we go. I'm just going to double check that it's working. Yeah, just peek back over at my thing. Okay, so this is the beastie right here, as we had it last time. And if you recall, I told you guys that this one had been done a little bit differently than some. Sometimes I draw on like real paper, then take a picture and throw that picture into these templates. And so that's exactly what's going on here. So that's why you got like this weird kind of like funny color gradient that's going on in this drawing up here, and why you've got, just like kind of, it looks a little bit different, a little bit more grainy. So I would love to hear if any of the other artists who see this feed, if they keep their old equipment too. It's saving my butt, but this is like I don't know, I want to say probably a 20-year-old tablet or something like that. Almost, somewhere in there. It's getting pretty old. So want to know if I'm the only one who does stuff like that, keeps the super old stuff just in case something breaks down, or not. So we were working on this troll illustration right here, and I'm going to take off the masks that kind of tell me what's going on with these guys, just so you get an idea of what it looks like underneath. In my vision of things, this is kind of like some interesting architectural work, and then like some very textured kind of like splinters that are like almost forming a wall surface or something like that overlay this. So it's going to be done in layers. I'm going to do the background, and I'm going to move the same background to the other side too. They're going to share a background, and then each one of these drawings is going to be individualized by the pose of the character that we've got going on here. But one of the things I'm trying to also get used to working on is making sure that even though I'm only drawing for this particular template at this point in time, and this will be the last one I draw on the CS2 Pro for a little while, because it's actually going to go on to probably some of those other formats guns like the GO4 or the LV 1.6 templates. But for the time being, that's what I'm working on right now. Let's see here. Make sure everything, all my size settings and stuff are in line with what I wanted. Looks good. Oh, and you guys will really enjoy this. So this is the old pen that I have, and it's got a little bit of rope holding together the plastic thing on the pen, because that's just what I had at the time. And it also kind of just feels alright, so I'm drawing with it that way for right now. It's fun, but whatever. Also, I want to see if my tablet zoom is working. It is. Okay, cool. So the old school buttons do work with the drivers. And make sure I got my brush over here. Alright. So I'm going to finish working on this little SketchUp of this guy right here. It's pretty loose, and that's okay. Doesn't need to be super, super in depth. Do I have my transfer on? Alright, good. Yeah, it's working. So you're going to see me kind of adapting to the pen pressure differences too. Before I was using a Yanova MSP 19U Plus, which is outdated as well, but like not nearly as much because it's a drawing screen, not a drawing tablet. And like I said, I'm pretty fortunate because I use these at work all the time, so it's not as if I'm not used to doing them. It's just that it's an adjustment from my home setup, I suppose. So right now I'm just going to block in kind of like the basics of this guy. I think we're going to get a little more dramatic with his silhouette here. I don't want to just give him like washboard abs. I want to do something kind of bony and crazy, because he is kind of like a nightmare beast of some sort, and that would be appropriate to the piece. This kind of troll demon creature that I've got going on. So like I said, you won't catch me probably doing nearly as much checking in on the chats, but you will. I mean, I'm still gonna do it. It's just gonna take a lot more intervals to do such a thing. So there we go. And you can see I'm kind of scribbling, and that comes from, yeah, I'm gonna write later, from not being used to doing this way, but it's all good. Take off this little front bit for a minute while I work on this guy's beastie's hands. What's really super ironic about the tablet going out too was that I just saw somebody giving one away. Like, just not even a month ago. Somebody was like, "Oh, I got a better drawing screen, giving this away," and it was on an art forum. And I thought nothing of it because I was like, "Oh, yeah, well, that's kind of a good pickup. Maybe I should ask if I can have it." But go to somebody else because mine's working. If I could find that guy or somebody who was doing that, I would totally be like, "Yeah, throw me that," so I can just keep going on the platform I'm used to. But I'm sure I'll be upgrading pretty quick here. I'm just gonna get through on what I got on hand for the time being, like you do, like you do. You can see I'm trying to draw like some of the bonier substructure of the hand, kind of give it that creepy skeletal vibe. Alright guys, I'm going to check in on the chat real quick here. So you're going to see something on my screen for a second. Don't freak out. Doesn't look like anything's going on. That's fine. Hey Grant. Hey Grace. Evan. What's up, buddy? Thanks for dropping in. And I know this looks like a lot of scribbles, and it really is. It's just that. It's like, you know, this nonsense starts to make sense in my mind as I see it kind of come together, too. And that's pretty typical for a lot of artists. They kind of just let structures emerge. I'm not saying everybody does that way. I know that there's a lot of anatomy studies and stuff going on, too. And, you know, I have a loose anatomical understanding, but I'm not, like, really sticking to it, because this is, you know, this is a monster. It's not... I'm not drawing him for the humans, because that's not what he is. You know, I like this Shelley kind of layered look. Oh, and one other thing that I forgot to announce too, which is kind of cool, is I have a new addition to my family, kind of. I have a pet kitten who might be creeping around in the background at some point here. She came from the adoption agency, and her name is Lonnie, but we're thinking about renaming her. It's also interesting, I'm not used to drawing on this large of a screen because my other screen was only 19 inches and this thing I think is like 27, so it's kind of a good transition. Excuse me while I drink this coffee. don't know if I like that leg. Gonna go back on here. I think he's too massive for like weird thin legs, but I'm gonna take a look. So one of the things I've had to work on, because these guns do tend to go into multiple formats, is drawing the full figure, even not. And I think I mentioned that just a second ago, but it's kind of super important now more than ever. Like, you can't just draw to the borders of your thing, because like the height of one gun template might be massively different than, you know, the other ones, and you really have to account for that. So like, if you need him to kind of come up, like this figure to come up or whatever. I also don't know, I might make his weapon a bit bigger too, like just kind of crazy. Let's see how far we can push the weapon after I get this kind of leg in position. Just these rough. And yeah, I'm drawing the back hook, even though you wouldn't probably see it. And it's more just kind of like a note to myself. I'm gonna do like a three-toed beastie here, I think. Our troll slash demon guy. I'm gonna change the orientation of the knee here because it's kind of more forward facing, so there we go. You can see just adjusting on the fly there. I think what I want to do with this is bring it down. Maybe take somewhere in there. Turn on the template for a second, see what that looks like. Okay. Yeah, and I can tell that I'm really kind of a little bit out of practice with this particular tablet because like my hand even grips the pen a little bit differently. Okay, so that's kind of like the scale of the weapon. I think I want it to go like massively, just be super ridiculous.
I forget to breathe, just forget the word, and beneath the stars,
At that scale, maybe what we do, let's get rid of one side, make it a little different. We'll get rid of the other side too. Pardon me guys, gotta check something here. I'm going to pull the background elements off this just for a second too, as we're doing just line work. We'll lasso draw this part in just to see. And there we go. Little chat check real quick. Hey Ricky, how you doing, buddy? Thanks for dropping in. Guys, I can't say enough how much I appreciate your kind of letting me know that you like this stuff and give me the likes and that type of stuff. It's really good to be supported like that, so thank you very much. Okay, so that's what it'll look like. But
Clear my mind, close my eyes, where am I?
ooh, don't think I want to hear this, whatever this is.
Out across the sky, as the wind
Boop.
blows in my face, there's water, water.
Okay, so that's what that's going to look like there.
Until the day we meet again, I will hold
You think, guys? Should I give him a tail? Kind of a natural extension of what we had going on up here with this kind of like back piece, maybe. Okay, guys, so I'm going to take a break for a little bit. I've got some work I've got to do outside of artwork, and then I will be back. Hopefully you've enjoyed just kind of watching the process as it comes along. I'm hoping to actually kind of cut into paints pretty quick here, but I want to get a few things done, and once they are done, I will be moving on to that next step. I really want to get the background done today, or at least like laid in, and then start some progress on that. So I'm really gonna kind of try to hit it with flat colors and then come in with like highlight flat colors, but it's gonna look a little rough at first. Just as a reminder here too, you're seeing me sketch without my drawing screen, which is fine. It's a good thing that I've always been able to draw on, you know, these guys right here. This is a super old one, but it's the old faithful when the other one breaks down. So screen broke down, I'm ordering a new screen, but this will serve me in the meantime. Wanted to know if any of you artists do the same thing. This thing's like almost a 20-year relic, and it's working like a champ, which is freaking awesome. So I'm just going to keep at it for right now, and we'll see where we go. I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks again for joining me. I'm Sean Jones. I am the artist behind Art of the Sean and TFD Paintball. You can see me on Facebook. You can also see me on Instagram and YouTube. You can type @Art of the Sean on Facebook. You can type @Art of the Sean on Instagram. I'm also on Twitter. Just look up Sean Jones or TFD Paintball on YouTube. And if you just want to see the paintball specific artwork, go to www.facebook.com/TotalFieldDominationTFD for all your paintball graphics and more. Talk to you later. Bye.